A basic Toyota Corolla, the most sensible, boring car on earth, costs about $54,000 in Israel. Not a luxury trim, the normal one. Now, hold that thought, because your phone bill over there would run around $11 a month. 11. That's the whole riddle of living in Israel. Some things cost a fortune that's almost funny, and other things that quietly drain Americans dry are nearly free. So is it actually more expensive than the US or not? The honest answer surprised me, and the surprise isn't the total, it's which things are expensive. Let's run the scoreboard, category by category. Number 1, your phone and internet. Let's start where Israel makes America look ridiculous. A solid mobile plan in Israel, including calls, texts, and a big pile of data, costs somewhere around 36 shekels a month. That's about $11. In the US, one line routinely runs $70, $80, $90, and you just accept it. A few years back, Israel's telecom market got blown wide open. Competition went brutal, and prices fell through the floor. Home internet is the same story. Fast fiber for the equivalent of about $40 a month. So an Israeli scrolls and streams all day on a plan so cheap they never think about it, while an American babysits their unlimited data and braces for the bill. Round 1 isn't close. Advantage, Israel. Number 2, buying a car. Now the category that swings hard the other way, and it's brutal. That $54,000 Corolla from the intro, real. A basic new compact in Israel costs roughly double what the same car costs in the States because the government stacks heavy purchase and import taxes on top of the sticker price. And it doesn't stop at the purchase. Gas runs close to $9 a gallon, more than double what Americans grumble about at the pump. In the US, a car is almost a given. Here, owning one is a genuine luxury, which is exactly why so many people in the cities just don't. They lean on buses, trains, bikes, and scooters instead. But if you want the car, you'll pay dearly. Round 2, and it's a blowout. Advantage, America. Fill a cart in Israel, and it stings a little more than back home. Overall, everyday goods and services run about 32% above the USSA average. And the grocery aisle is a big reason why. A dozen eggs lands around $4.50, a liter of milk over 2. Anything packaged, boxed, or imported carries a noticeable markup. There's a real bright spot though. Fresh produce. Tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, herbs, grown locally, genuinely cheap, and far better than what you'd expect. And locals have a cheat code. Shop the open-air market late on a Friday, or the discount chains, and you can slash a fresh food bill nearly in half. Still, category by category, the basic weekly shop costs more here than in most of America. Advantage, America, but keep that fresh produce in your back pocket, because it comes up again. Number 4, getting sick. Here's the one that flips everything, and it's the one Americans feel in their bones. In Israel, when you get sick, you go to the doctor, and that's pretty much the end of the sentence. Everyone's covered under a universal system, funded through payroll. A visit is cheap or free. Prescriptions cost a few dollars. There's no surprise envelope arriving 3 weeks later to detonate your month. Compare that to the American reality. Premiums, deductibles, copays, and the genuine fear of a 5-figure bill from one bad night in the emergency room. Medical debt is a leading cause of bankruptcy in the US. In Israel, that phrase barely makes sense. Yes, Israelis pay for it through taxes taken out of every paycheck. But the catastrophe, the thing that wipes out American families, mostly isn't on the table here. Advantage, Israel by a mile. Number 5, going out to eat. Back to America's column, because eating out in Israel adds up fast, and the culture practically drags you out to do it. A simple cappuccino runs around $4.50. A cheap sit-down meal, roughly $24. Dinner for 2 at a mid-range place, easily $90 before you've done anything fancy. And the catch is that Israeli life assumes you're out constantly. Friday brunches, cafe meetings, drinks by the beach. So the social calendar quietly keeps the register ringing. A person who eats out a few times a week can pile hundreds of dollars a month on top of groceries without noticing. The food is spectacular. The bill is not gentle. On pure cost, this round goes to America. But remember that punishing car? Here's its silver lining. Because Israel is small, dense, and walkable, you can live a full life without ever owning one. And that is where the money comes back. A single bus or train ride costs a little over $2, and it often includes free transfers for a window of time. A monthly pass that covers your whole commute runs around $95, with steep discounts for students, young people, and seniors. Add bikes and scooters you grab off the sidewalk, and a lot of city dwellers spend almost nothing to get around. An American pours money into car payments, insurance, gas, and parking just to function. A city Israeli skips the entire expense and barely feels the gap. Advantage: Israel. Number 7. A roof over your head. Now the big one, rent. And this is the round that refuses to pick a side. Housing is genuinely expensive in Israel, no sugarcoating it. A one-bedroom in central Tel Aviv can run the equivalent of $2,000 to $3,500 a month, right up there with a pricey American city. But zoom out and it splits. Tel Aviv is brutal, yet it's still cheaper than New York or San Francisco. And step outside the center, up to Haifa or down to Beersheba, and rents can fall by a third or even half, down toward the equivalent of $600 or $700 for a one-bedroom. So against the most expensive US cities, Israel actually wins. Against a mid-size American town, it loses. This round is a genuine draw. It all depends on which two places you hold up side by side. Here's a quiet one that lands like a punch. A university degree in Israel is regulated by the government at roughly $3,000 to $4,000 a year in tuition. For the whole degree, you're often looking at around $10,000 total. In the United States, that number can be a single semester. American students graduate buried under tens of thousands in debt, sometimes over $100,000, a weight they haul for decades. So an Israeli walks out of university with a diploma and, usually, no crushing loan hanging over the rest of their 20s. To an American drowning in student debt, that isn't just cheaper, it's a completely different starting line for adult life. Advantage: Israel, overwhelmingly. Number 9, your paycheck. And now, the round that keeps Israel honest, what you actually earn. The average full-time salary in Israel comes to a bit over $4,000 a month before tax. And after income tax and national insurance, take-home is only about 75% of that. The typical worker earns less than that average because a booming tech sector drags the top way up. Bottom line, for most jobs, Israeli salaries sit noticeably below what you'd earn in an American tech hub. So you've got a country where many everyday things cost more, while the paycheck covering them is often smaller. That's the squeeze, and it's real. On raw earning power, advantage: America. So tally it up, and the scoreboard lands weirdly even. A few rounds each, one honest draw. Which sounds like a boring tie. But here's the twist, and it's the thing that actually reframed this for me. The categories aren't equal. Look at what each side wins. America wins the day-to-day cash flow. Cheaper cars, cheaper groceries, cheaper nights out, fatter paychecks. Israel wins the stuff that ruins people: healthcare, university, and the freedom to not need a car at all. And that changes what expensive even means. In Israel, money is tight month to month. You feel every grocery run, every car, every dinner. But you're far less likely to be wiped out by one hospital visit, or to start adult life $100,000 in the hole. American money stress is often the catastrophe. the bill that ends everything. Israeli money stress is the steady, daily squeeze. So the real answer to, is Israel more expensive, is yes, on the things you notice, and no, on the things that can actually sink you. It's not a cheaper life or a pricier one. It's a totally different shape of financial life. And which one's better depends entirely on which kind of stress you'd rather carry.